Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. Yay.
Woo!
Welcome to this segment of hashtag Monday Mornings with Micah. I'm really excited today. I get the one and only Kaylee Spain. I'm just
Thank you for having me.
super excited. She is, if you don't know her or follow her on LinkedIn, she is a phenomenal poster and videographer and everything. She really thinks outside the box, and she also has some cool stories to tell about a trip she had that I have just been dying to hear about as well, to Facebook. Right? It was Facebook.
Yes, yep. Facebook Global Headquarters. Yep.
But first of all, Kaylee, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Spain Commercial.
Yeah, so I am the marketing director for Spain Commercial Inc., which we're a Class A general contractor based out of Yorktown, Virginia. Excuse me. As part of the marketing director, I do all the photography, videography, content creation, website development, and even graphic design. So kind of wear many hats at the company.
Definitely, and that's a big task in its own sense. I mean, that's a lot because you have to. So when you go do your marketing, you have to go to every site that you guys have work being done.
Yes.
That's a lot of driving and taking pictures and following up and then posting it, right?
For sure. Yeah, it definitely is. I love it, but it is.
Because
Definitely figuring out a schedule for sure.
yeah, so you're not just doing, because I know you said you're based in Yorktown, but you're not just doing Yorktown. I mean,
Yeah.
what's your farthest reach
I
geographically?
mean, we do a lot of work on the Eastern Shore as well. I mean, we do work in Virginia Beach. We've done work in Richmond. I mean, we do work all over Hampton Roads. So yeah, I mean, where I go is usually about, I mean, a couple hours away if there's work over there and I want to document it and show people what we're doing, definitely. So
Wow, wow. Well, segueing into that, during these unprecedented times, I'm sure not so much contract work because you guys are typically, you're starting from the ground up, so you're the only ones on site, so you're not like remodeling sometimes. I'm sure you are remodeling a few times.
yeah, yes. I mean,
But
we do a lot of work in healthcare, so
yeah.
definitely still work to be done for sure.
So with that, and then with the pandemic, how have you seen your change in how you market and getting the attention of those that you're trying to build the relationships or get a bid on during a pandemic? Like how does that work?
I mean, so for us, things obviously have changed, but being, 80% of what we do is healthcare renovations. So we were already trained in infectious control, and kind of from, digital marketing standpoint, I kind of wanted to let people know that we're already trained and a lot of things that are, going to be effective in the future, for, when you're considering your general contractor. But that we're implementing the masks, that we are training our crew, how to be, how to handle situations. There's different systems that we're implementing when we do renovations. We're just all the training that we put into our guys even before this pandemic. So, and just kind of putting that out there that, during these times that we are putting a lot of training, we're taking this very seriously. We're worried about not only our crew but our clients, but we still we're there to get the job done.
Are you seeing a trend in any way that you're posting your awareness and the things that you're doing as a marketing director in a challenging time? Are you seeing the benefits of it? Like, are you seeing a return, not so much a return on investment because it's hard to gauge that using
Sure.
social media and everything, but are you seeing like more influx of new people looking? Are you seeing like more questions being risen of like, how are you handling this? Or
Sure. So when this first came about, of course I was already thinking like, how are we going to like handle this? If we continually are posting things, are people going to think we're not sensitive towards the situation? You have to think about those things. But sitting down with some of the people at Spain and talking with them, I was like, I think that people still want to see hope, that if you're isolated in your home, you don't want to see there's a lot of negative out there, and if we put positive things, are people going to think, oh, Spain isn't taking into consideration all that's happening in the world? And that's not the case. But we wanted to say, you know, we're still going, we're still trying to remain positive in these hard times. We want to support our community. We're doing all that we can, but we're still trying to remain positive. So our goal was to just hopefully inspire some people that,
Awesome.
you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But it was really cool. Speaking of, I got a lot of messages and saying, you know what, thank you guys for, like, I've been home, you know, I've been isolated. I keep seeing the news, and that you guys are still posting, like, you know, fun Insta stories of your crew, and that you guys are still going. It makes me feel like there's hope. There's going to be jobs. There's going to be things. And because that was a worry for me, seeing all the negative. So we took that angle. We didn't know, you know, how people were going to respond, but we've had such a great response from our community, you know, which has been great. So
now, what caused you, or what sparked an inspiration to do the type of photos that you do? Because you don't just do, like, people see my photos, I just take the photo and just post it, but you a little bit more flair, more pizzazz, you add more care to it, you add more passion, you add that little hint of, you know, uniqueness to it. So what sparked that? And then can you help a brother out, and can you share?
So, you know, it's so interesting. So it's several layers to this, you know. For me, I know that the human attention span is about 9 seconds. So people are not going to want to read the verbiage I have if I don't have beautiful imagery. So I knew, I was like, I got to get some bomb imagery out there so people will look, you know, and then they'll be like, what is this about? And so that really sparked me. But, you know, I grew up in this industry, and I'm inspired by the process, like the blood, sweat, tears that goes into construction. So I feel like all these inspirations that, you know, that I had for these guys, the construction industry, wanting to do justice for my peers and, you know, our subcontractors. But I really took up, you know, learning about shooting a digital camera. That's like everything, learning how to use Lightroom. So Micah, if you learn how to, you know, shoot a digital camera, I can totally help you out. But editing, it's all about how you edit, the lighting and everything like that. So, but yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, the way that you take your photos, if you haven't followed her on LinkedIn, you definitely should, because they stop you. You want to stop and look at the picture and then read the comments or read the post to see what it is that you're doing. Now, on a side note, I would like to let our viewers know that you did actually take a trip to Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How was that trip, and how are you using your experience? Because obviously you don't just get to go to Facebook to get a photo. You know, you were doing something, and you were utilizing their algorithms, their processes to build your brand better. So they obviously brought you out there, or you asked to go out there. I don't know how that works, and hopefully we'll find a little snippet of that. But how did that experience help you, or boost you, or give you more appreciation for what you're doing?
You know, so I was actually asked to go out to Facebook. It was I thought it was a joke at first, to be honest, you know. So it all started 2 summers ago. I spoke on a panel in Hampton Roads. And then from there, I actually was a part of, you know, several different things for Facebook. And then I made some connections, and then they had this, you know, this thing called the Summit, which they choose 400 people in North America to go. And to be honest, I wasn't really, you know, I was just honored to even be thought of. Yeah. But I didn't know if it was going to happen. It's a selection. I had to go through several, like, you know, conference calls with several people from Facebook, and then they kind of make their selection. But I, you know, finally going through that, about a month later, I got the email that I had been selected. And so that was really cool. They flew me out, they paid for everything, which was just so amazing. I think that, you know, like, not feel like, you know, that was me, but I think that really showing the process of construction and really bringing that, you know, blue collar work, you know, and showing that the really, like I said, the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. and doing them justice, I think that was something that a lot of other general contractors don't really show. There's a beginning, there's an end, there's no middle, but there's a pride that these guys take in their work, and there's just something to showcase. Yeah, like and that was something I had a heart for. And I think that because we were showing something different in our industry, that really, caught their eye, that it wasn't just about our work and getting more clients. It started off like that. It started off as just me wanting to do a portfolio of like, hey, look what we can do, look at our capabilities. But it morphed into, I really want to showcase the people that are a part of these projects, the heart that they have for this. This is more than a job for them. This is so much more. So I think showing that, and like me being passionate about that, and like showing it in my photography and videography, kind of got me an opportunity to go out to Facebook.
That's awesome. And then how did that affect you afterwards? Because obviously going out there, that's a huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is like after that, I always say like there's been opportunities that have been presented to me that I would have never, there was interviews, podcasts that my father, who's the owner, was able to be a part of. He was actually a part of a book. I think there was just opportunities because of that we kind of came into sight by people who might not have, even been in their realm at all, or in their, in their sites at all. But, even for Facebook, I'm always so grateful because they have created these opportunities for me. But, it's definitely impacted me. And then while we were there at the headquarters, they actually had a learning opportunity to learn how to engage, excite, educate, and different things that we can kind of bring into our social media presence. So I hope that answered your question,
It does. Because it's important, because you never would have thought that would have taken place. I mean, not many people hear about like a contractor going out to Facebook, be asked to speak, paid for everything, and all the things that you experience. But it's important for people to know that just because you think that, oh, I'm just doing this job, it's just a mundane job, you can still leave an impact and make something bigger if you just show your level of passion, your level of, can I try this? Thinking outside the box. Can I try this? What can I do if I do this? Really try.
I think what you said is so true. Like passion. If you're passionate about anything, it's contagious. I think that I see the passion that you have for what you do, and it gets me excited. I think that like it really does. And I love that. And it's like, I think when people have passion for what they do, it really comes off the pages, it just shows. And I think in social media world, I think it's very important to be passionate about what you do so that other people can get into it as well.
And it just trickles, because,
Return
may not be today, it may not be in the next hour, but in the next week, in the next month, you might get that call that's like, I've been waiting for that. Like, I've been waiting for that connection to take place. And it's just a matter of what are we saying that's going to be that trigger or that picture that's going to be like, that's the one that gravitated to me. That's the one that sucked me in.
Absolutely. You got to keep pushing on, for sure.
So as a final, I really appreciate this, Kaylee.
No, absolutely.
Amazing. So what words of encouragement could you leave with? Because I always love ending the segment with a word of encouragement or words of wisdom. For the day, for the week, what could you say to help spark the passion that just because you're doing something that seems mundane, that you really don't think you're making a difference, what could you share with the listeners and the viewers that could spark something in them to keep going or to try to think of something different?
So like, first of all, I would say, keep fighting, stay passionate, remember why you started. Always remember why you started. I know it can get exhausting, especially right now. But one thing that I do, every week I teach myself something new. And I say, you know what? And I think people will go, wow, I'm not saying take a class, but something that I do every week is I go, I'm going to learn how to do this different editing technique. I saw it on somebody, like some other like big, large brand. And I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to do that this week. I'm going to do that. and elevating yourself, always challenging yourself, because I think small things every day add up to big results. So I think that if you just keep challenging yourself day in and day out, like just saying, okay, a little bit here, a little bit here. Don't set the goal. I hate to say, like, I think it's good to have big goals and small goals. But like I said, I think having those small goals, like saying this week, I want to challenge myself to do that, So, and that's how, for me, photography and videography, I'm self-taught. I didn't go to school for it or anything like that. And I'm still learning so much, but I think that all the people that I know that are successful, and I'm sure you feel the same way, they are always learning. They're always trying to teach themselves new things to elevate themselves, elevate their brand and their company. So, yeah.
Man. So those of you that are going to be looking up Kaylee Spain on LinkedIn or Facebook, when you see those pictures, self-taught. That's impressive.
You can do it. I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. Sure.
Thank you so much for this time. I know it's Monday morning and we're starting our work week. It's July. It's getting hotter outside. So I just really appreciate all the work that your team is doing out there in the field, and for you capturing their experiences and their passions for what they're doing during these times. So I want to say thank you. And for those of you that are listening, please reach out to Kaylee Spain. Look her up on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you will not be disappointed. So
Thank you.
So until next time, enjoy, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.